The first story was sent in by someone who said they used to hike alone all the time and never once felt afraid doing it. That changed after one trip they say still doesn't make sense, no matter how many times they replay it. They chose a popular hiking trail in a national forest, well marked, busy during the day. They arrived mid-morning, parked their car, and started hiking just after 10 a.m. The weather was perfect, clear sky, cool air, plenty of other hikers passing by. About 2 hours in, they noticed something strange. They hadn't seen another person for a while. At first, they didn't think much of it. Trails thin out. People turn around at different points. But then they realized something else. The forest had gone quiet. No birds, no insects, no wind through the trees, just their footsteps. They stopped walking. The silence stayed. Then they heard it. Footsteps behind them, slow, deliberate, not rushed, not trying to hide. They assumed it was another hiker and stepped to the side to let them pass. No one did. The footsteps stopped when they stopped. They turned around. The trail behind them was empty. They laughed it off, telling themselves sound travels weirdly in the woods, and kept going. A few minutes later, they heard breathing. Close. Too close, right behind their ear. They spun around again. Nothing. No one. Their heart was racing now. They decided to turn back early. As they walked faster toward the trailhead, the footsteps returned, matching their pace. When they slowed down, they slowed down. When they sped up, they sped up. They broke into a jog. So did whatever was behind them. They ran. Branches snapped nearby. Leaves crunched off the trail like something was moving parallel to them instead of directly behind. When they finally burst out of the tree line and saw the parking lot, the sounds stopped instantly. They reached their car and locked the doors, hands shaking. That's when they noticed something carved into the dirt near their driver's side door. Fresh, deep. It read, "Turn around." They never went back to that trail. The second story came from a man who went hiking with two friends on a remote mountain trail known for long stretches without cell service. They started early and planned to be back before sunset. The hike up was normal, quiet, tiring, beautiful views. On the way down, one of his friends noticed something odd. There were footprints on the trail, bare feet. At first they joked about it, someone hiking barefoot, trying to be one with nature. But the footprints didn't make sense. They weren't coming from ahead of them. They were appearing alongside their own, perfectly matching their stride. Same spacing, same direction. They stopped. The footprints stopped. They moved again. The footprints continued. But there was no one around. They began to feel watched, not from behind, from the trees. Every time one of them glanced toward the forest, they felt like they were just missing something, stepping back out of sight. They picked up the pace. That's when they heard a voice. "Hey!" It came from deeper in the woods. A man's voice, calm, friendly, too calm. They called back, asking if someone needed help. There was a pause. Then the voice repeated, "Hey," in the exact same tone, same pitch, same timing, like it had been copied and replayed. One of his friends whispered that they should leave. As they walked faster, the voice followed them. Always from the trees, never closer, never farther, just keeping pace, repeating the same word. "Hey!" over and over. When they reached a clearing, the voice stopped. The forest went silent. They didn't speak the rest of the way down. Later, when they told a ranger about it, his expression changed. He told them that several hikers had reported hearing voices on that trail, always calling out, always repeating. He advised them not to hike there again. The third story was sent in by someone who said this happened years ago, but they still feel uneasy anytime they walk through wooded areas. They were hiking alone near dusk, trying to make it back before dark. The trail was narrow and winding, surrounded by dense trees on both sides. They realized too late that they were going to be hiking in the dark. As the sun dipped below the trees, the temperature dropped fast. That's when they noticed a smell, rotting meat, strong enough to make them gag. They followed the trail cautiously, trying not to panic. Then they saw it. Ahead of them, hanging from a tree branch just off the trail, was a backpack. Old, torn, sun-faded. They recognized it instantly. It looked exactly like theirs. Same brand, Same color, same patch sewn onto the strap. They stepped closer. Inside the pack were items scattered on the ground. A water bottle, a jacket, a map. All identical to what they were carrying, including a phone. Cracked in the same place as theirs. Their phone buzzed in their pocket. A notification, no signal, no service. The message read, "Don't come closer." They ran. They didn't stop until they reached their car well after dark. They reported it the next day. Search teams found nothing. No backpack, no tree, no sign that anyone else had been there. But a few weeks later, a missing hiker was reported on that same trail. Same backpack, same gear, same phone. The only difference? They were never found. And sometimes when this person hikes now, they swear they hear footsteps behind them. Always matching their pace. Always staying just out of sight.